This is the Unit 9 review worked out solutions for Part 3, and it is the answer key to the questions in Part 3. Question number 14 says, using the line of best fit, estimate how many miles a delivery truck would travel in 8 hours. So it says the graph below shows the relationship between the distance in miles a delivery truck traveled and the number of hours each delivery took. So when I look for 8 hours, I see hours is on the y-axis, and here's 8 right here. So I'm going to follow that over to the line because it says use the line of best fit. So there's my line, and 8 hours would be right here on the line. So I'm going to follow that down, and it is to 400 miles. So the delivery truck would travel about 400 miles in 8 hours. Question number 15. Using the line of best fit, predict the distance traveled in 8 hours. So if I go on the x-axis to 8 hours, and I follow it up, I see that it hits our line right here. So then if I follow that over towards the left to the y-axis, I can see it's right about here, and below it is 60, above it is 70. It's not quite in the middle, so to me, I'm going to estimate that the distance traveled would be about 64 miles. Now, if you said 63 miles or 65 miles, I would say those are both appropriate because it's just an estimate, so somewhere around there. Question number 16, using the line of best fit, predict Julie's height when she is 9 years old. So if I look on my x-axis, I have years, so I'm going to find 9 years here. And I'm going to go up to the line, and I'll put a point on my line, and then I'm going to follow that over to the left as precisely as you can, and mark where it would be, and then figure out what height that is. So it is between 150 and 160. It's not quite halfway, so I'm going to estimate it's about 154 centimeters. If you said 153 or 155, I would say that is pretty close. All of those would be an appropriate prediction. And last question in this part, number 17, using the line of best fit, predict the average consumption of bottled water in the year 2000. So I'm going to go over to my years. 2000 is right here. I'm going to follow it up to the line because we're using the line of fit to predict. And I see that I can put a point right on that line for the year 2000. And then I will follow it over, and it hits right here. So when I look at my labels on the y-axis, it goes from 10 to 12, 14, 16, 18, and then up here would be 20. So in between would be 19 gallons of bottled water per person.